Right, welcome, ladies and gents. Things are really heating up with Disney. Nelson Peltz is going to be taking, and I quote, a case for change directly to shareholders. Yeah, that's because Disney has refused him board seats. Now, if you don't know who Nelson Peltz is, he works with a management fund company, and typically he just comes into companies which are on a massive downward spiral. He buys up loads of stock because he can buy it cheap because they're on a downward spiral, and then he goes, right, how can we make this company great again so I can we can boost those stock numbers, and then I can sell all my stock, I guess. Maybe some bits and pieces like that. Anyway, it's kind of like a rough overview. I'm sure some people will correct me down in the comments if I've got that wrong. But he's labelled an activist investor, and it's wrong to call him that. He just wants a return on investment. He's a good businessman, basically. In fact, he's the furthest from an activist you could probably say on anyone who is on the Disney board at this point in time. But he's been trying and pushing for board seats. Last year, he was in a proxy war with Bob Iger and Disney, trying to get on board. He ceased this proxy war, and then Disney proceeded to fire Ike Perlmutter, and now Nelson Peltz has teamed up with Ike Perlmutter, who is the single-handedly biggest shareholder, just one individual anyway. So now Nelson Peltz has a lot of stock, and he's obviously pushed for more seats on the board, and he's refused. Now the interesting thing about this is he's going to go to the shareholders directly. Where do you think they're going to vote? Seeing as their share prices are going down, their stocks are worth less and less. Where do you think they're going to go? Because I can't imagine they're going to vote Disney. I'm pretty certain they're going to vote for someone that has a clear head on their shoulders, not swamped with the fog of ideology. So this is really heating up, guys. So let's take a look. This is Deadline. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on if you enjoy videos like this. So Nelson Peltz's Trian Fund Management, which owns about $3 billion of stock. Again, it's not just that. Remember, he's teamed up with Ike Perlmutter. Said today it plans to take its case for change at the media giant directly to shareholders after the company has now rejected its request for a board seat. Several board seats, actually. Now, we didn't know whether they had rejected it or not. This has been quiet for some time, and this will be a calculated thing, bearing in mind Nelson Peltz is a very intelligent person. He won't be doing this just willy-nilly. He would have come out today, said it right now today for a reason, and a few things to go on as to why he probably waited till today, because there was a town hall meeting where Bob Iger addressed cast members, employees and things like that, so they're probably not happy. So this was calculated. Nelson Peltz is a boss. Pretty intelligent dude, to be honest. Strategic. So here's a statement from Trian. They say, this morning, following conversations with Disney CEO, Disney extended an offer to Trian to meet with the board, but informed Trian that the board is turning down Trian's recent request for board representation, including Nelson Peltz. So the activist billionaire is very much in Disney's hair right now for the second time, because Trian pushed for board seats earlier this year, like I've said, in an aggressive campaign, but Peltz withdrew after Iger announced sweeping changes. Those changes haven't done anything. They haven't done anything. They're dead. So they continue, and this is where this is pretty brutal, guys, to be fair. This is heating up. I can't stress it enough. Since we gave Disney the opportunity to prove it could right the ship last February, up to our re-engagement weeks ago, shareholders lost $70 billion of value. I wonder who they're going to vote in. Disney's share price has underperformed proxy peers and the broader market over every relevant period during the last decade and over the tenure of each incumbent director. Investor confidence is low, key strategic questions loom, and even Disney's CEO is acknowledging that the company's challenges are greater than previously believed. While James Gorman and Sir Jeremy Durock represent an improvement from the status quo, the addition of these directors will not, in our view, restore investor confidence or address the root cause behind the significant value destruction and missteps that this board has overseen. Trian intends to take our case for change directly to shareholders. Fucking hell. That is fighting talk, guys. That is fighting talk. And it's funny because, again, Disney named 2 new directors yesterday. I like deadlines. More to come. It's true, though. So just to chime in here, I was literally just rendering the video, but since doing that, I refreshed the page and Disney has responded. Crazy. So Disney has acknowledged today activist investor Nelson Peltz plans to go directly to shareholders to seek a seat on the board, but noted that he is in partnership with Isaac Perlmutter, a former executive. Mr. Perlmutter owns 78% of the shares that Mr. Peltz claims beneficial ownership of, or more than 25 million of the 33 million shares. This dynamic is relevant to assessing Mr. Peltz and any other nominees he may put forth as directors, as Mr. Perlmutter was terminated from his employment by Disney earlier this year and has voiced his long-standing personal agenda against Disney CEO Bob Iger, which may be different than that of all other shareholders. I mean, it may be different. Maybe different. Probably isn't, though. That's it. That's their response. I mean, yeah, it may be different, but it's probably not that different to a lot of shareholders, just as an FYI. So there you go. Just thought I'd chuck that in to this video, on with what I previously recorded. Yeah, and this is the board shuffle that happened. So you've got former Sky chief Jeremy DeRock and Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman were appointed directors. So this is what they're referencing. So the corporate announcement follows an appearance by CEO Bob Iger at the New York Times Dealbook Summit, during which he addressed an activist push by investor Nelson Peltz along with former Marvel chief Ike Perlmutter, which we know anyway. And he said this: "I'm certain that the board will hear them out as to what their plans are," Iger said of the duo, but added, "It's not like we have a number of empty seats." Well, no. So you should have given some up, rather than just give 2 new people seats. Idiot. Yeah, and this is what they say anyway. This is their statement to do with why these people are good. Which I disagree anyway. It says, James and Jeremy are both widely respected leaders in their industry, and their expertise will complement the talents and experience of the Disney board as we continue to focus on delivering for consumers and shareholders alike. You haven't delivered for shareholders. In the 14 years that James has been CEO of Morgan Stanley, he's overseen a strategic transformation of the institution and delivered significant shareholder value and is integral to Morgan Stanley's well-managed succession process over the past year. And apparently Jeremy DeRock, the Sky guy, says they claim of him brings extensive leadership in the international media business, and during his tenure at Sky, he led Sky's successful transition from a linear satellite broadcaster to one of Europe's largest multi-platform TV providers. People really don't like Sky anyway, to be fair. Over here anyway, so just as an FYI. So there you go. I mean, Nelson Peltz, he is pissed. And he's coming for you, Disney. You are... The war is on. The war for Disney is on. And I know that sounds like dramatic, but it's true. This is a proxy war. This is what's going to happen now. They'll go to the shareholders. I mean, they're $70 billion in value is pretty bloody insane. You know, numbers don't lie. They don't care about your agendas. They don't care about your social messaging. Numbers are just... They just are. Demonstrably so. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye now.